Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Let's Shop Cake Live. We are here, 2024. We've made it, and this is my first live on Let's Shop since the new year, I think. I'm just trying to think, actually. Yes, it is. So welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Today, I'm going to be showing you some new ideas, of course. Some with some of the cookie cutters we've got already, and some new ones as well. So something else for you to have a look at for this year. So we begin at 2024, obviously, with lots of new ideas as always, and I'll be live here probably until about 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock this morning anyway. So if you are watching me on catch up, you will be able to sit there for a couple of hours and enjoy a little bit of cake making. So welcome back, thank you very much. So we're going to go through some bits and pieces this morning. We will obviously start with the cake school anyway, which we will have a look at in just a minute, and then we will move on to some of the other bits and pieces as well. Yes, it's very cold. I can fully appreciate that all of you are all over the country. Some of you have got snow. We don't have snow, but it is extremely cold where I am at the moment. So you know what it is. If it's cold, stay indoors and do lots of nice cake decorating. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? I've got my winter jumper on, so I'm all right. I've got my heater on down here, which I'll probably have to switch off in about half an hour because I shall overheat. Yes, it's lovely to be back. So thank you very much. My gold members have already seen me. They saw me last week, but this is my first live on Let's Shop today. So that's very exciting. It's actually taken me quite a lot of time to clear Christmas off Let's Shop. I'm still trying to clear it off now. I've almost done it, but you don't realise how big Christmas is and how much or how many products there are that go on at Christmas. So I've now near enough moved everything off. There might be one or two odd things in there. And this morning, the website is now full of everything that we're going to be looking at this morning. Some ideas for Valentine's Day, and then obviously we'll be moving through the events as we go through the year. So I won't be live next week because it's my birthday and I will not be here. I will be at Abba Voyage instead, so I will not be here next weekend, but after that we'll start posting on here what I've said to you before. We'll put an event post up, and if you see it come up and you want to join us, then you just click going or interested and it will remind you. Facebook is very helpful from that, if nothing else. It will actually remind you if we're going live. And don't forget as well, if you are watching on Facebook and you're having problems with sort of keeping the signal, then we are also streaming out of YouTube as well, which is at Tracey Mann Cakes, so you can follow me on there as well. We're not streaming out of anywhere else at the moment, but we'll probably be streaming out of Instagram before much longer. So we're getting there. There's just there's all these social media platforms everywhere. It's an awful lot to keep up with, but I'm doing my best anyway. Right, so let's have a look at what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to start with my lovely cake school. For those of you, let's put up the lovely address. There it is, tracymanncakeschool.co.uk. So loads of you did the Christmas cake painting, which was brilliant. I know that because I sent out a lot of certificates. So well done to everybody that took part in the beginners Christmas cake painting moment. If you still want to continue to do it, you can. It's not just a cut-off point at Christmas. If you want to carry on painting Christmas, that's fine by me. I'm in painting Christmas mode at the moment. I'm trying to be really organised this year. It never happens. And I said to myself, right, I'm in Christmas mode. I must stay in this mode and I must paint Christmas for 2024 before I lose it, because trying to paint Christmas in August is extremely difficult when it's boiling hot outside and all you've got to think about is snow and winter. It's really hard. So this year I'm trying to be really good, and I've done Halloween, so I've made some progress, but in the meantime obviously busy. I'm painting ideas that are coming up sort of almost imminently with Valentine's Day, etc. So we'll have a look at the new Valentine's Day project in a second. But then of course we've got our normal beginners cocoa butter painting course running. Where is it? It's got Christmas around it. I keep saying you'll see little hints of Christmas everywhere. I can't help it at the moment. I'm still trying to clear out my pictures. The beginners cocoa butter painting course is running at the moment. It runs all the time, but if you do want to have, if you've got a New Year's resolution, start cake painting, then you're more than welcome to join this one. You can just buy the course, log in, and then just do the 4 images themselves, and then we'll give you a lovely certificate at the end of it, just as long as you can prove you've done it. That's the key, isn't it? I need to see evidence, you know. I need to see you actually did it. So if you do want to have a go at that, if you are a newbie to cake painting or you're a newbie to Let's Shop Cake Live, then obviously get involved, because it's a really nice thing to do. And actually loads of people, once they start doing those beginners courses, they are hooked. They can't resist it, and then that's it. It's a slippery slope down to everything else. Just very quickly about the school itself. So our school operates on two different ways. You can either buy your courses or you can join as a monthly member, and there are different levels of membership depending on how much access you want to the classes. So we have our gold membership, which is $12.50 a month, and that gives you access to everything. So all my cupcake bouquets and my painting and all the things like the wedding cakes, the royal icing, the chocolate paste, the airbrushing, huge amounts of information. Or maybe you're just a painter and you just like to do painting. In that case, then we have silver membership, which is painting only, which is £10 a month, or you can go down to bronze membership and just come in at beginner's level. Few people do that, but most people put their feet straight in and go for gold, to be perfectly honest. But some people like to just have a little dabble, and that one's £6.75 a month. Or there is the Sugarcraft membership, which is just all the wedding cakes and the I say just all, there's loads of stuff on there, and they've got a lot of courses coming up in February, so they're going to be very busy with royal icing and other bits and pieces. So that one is £6.95 a month. But again, if you don't want to do membership and you just fancy a class, buying a class, if you pay for it, you can keep it, and that's the other way of doing it as well. So if you see it listed as a price, you can go, yes, I'll have that class, pay for it, and it's yours. We'll send you the link and that will be yours to log in and keep forever. Or you can, of course, just pay for membership and get access to more. It's entirely up to you. But obviously, the longer your membership is paid, the more access you get. So the minute that the access finishes, so in other words, the minute you stop paying for your membership, then you will lose access to your classes unless you've bought them. In that case, the ones you've paid for will stay on the system. So that's the purpose of membership. Somebody said to me the other day, or asked me a question, do I still get access? I've stopped paying. The answer to that is a definite no. The idea is you pay for it so that you can get access. If you stop paying for it, then no, you don't. So that's how it works. Yes, you have spotted something next to the cockapoo. Someone's zooming in. Someone's being naughty because that actually wasn't meant to be shown yet. But yeah, there's two new ones behind me today. Someone's obviously spotted the other one, which actually isn't on my list today, but that's okay. We can do that. I'll show you that one. I don't even think it's been scheduled yet, which it's another reason why I shouldn't have put that one there, but I have. But we've got a horse one, which is just to the left of the one you're looking at, which is a guinea pig. That's what you've spotted up there, so I'll get that down in a second and you can have a look. So we've already started with a bang. We've had the cockapoo cake that came out, or the cockapoo paint. Where is it? There it is. Everybody's got one of these, it seems to be. Anyway, wherever you go, these dogs seem to be absolutely everywhere, and I thought, do you know what, I think we better do a paint on this because somebody knows somebody with one of these dogs. My brother included, and my sister-in-law's brother, he's got one, and the lady next door to me's got one. Everybody seems to have one. So we had that as a new paint last weekend. So that's all come out. We've got a new one today. So this one was on the agenda for February. So this was going to be a Valentine's one, but obviously I thought the other day, well, there's no point in having it out Valentine's week because we need it before that, because we've got to do some painting beforehand. So my predicted Valentine's one is now out today. So it will be released later on this afternoon. So for those of you that are in my membership, it's not quite there yet, but it will be shortly. So we have got a brand new, we haven't had a new dog. Oh no, we've had the cavapoo, obviously, or the cockapoo. So we have got this new one here, just putting it on screen so you can see it. Here he is, he's very sweet. So this is our new course that's out today. It's called Puppy Love. I mean, how can you not go, oh, he's so sweet. So Puppy Love is out today. This is a brand new class. The idea being it's just a very sweet little nod to Valentine's Day, but also he's got his head on a little heart cushion, so you can do it for a birthday. It doesn't necessarily have to be for Valentine's Day. I do try really hard where possible, try not to make things too specific, because it's nice to have things that you can paint all year round, and I definitely think you can paint him all year round, forever you want. And of course you can adapt them as well. So if you know a puppy that looks like this but it's got slightly different markings, you can change it and you can do different markings as well. He is quite complicated. I'm going to just bring him up closer to the screen so you can see sort of all the detail in his fur and bits and pieces. So he's quite a tricky paint. So I put him down as an intermediate class. So he's suitable for someone who's already done the beginner's class. So if you've done that beginner's cocoa butter painting, Christmas or otherwise, then you'll be fine. But he's a nice little starter for getting into animal painting because he's not too big. He's quite a nice little size. You can see on there he's not absolutely massive. I'm looking around for, oh, where's my ruler? Let me get my ruler out. I can tell you how big I did this on now, so I'll just move that before it falls over. So let's have a little look. So that's a 7-inch round cake. I think I might have said 6 on the thing, but 6 or 7 is fine. And I did it on a blue cake. So this is Colour Splash Navy, which is a really nice colour. And I basically just did my sugar paste, let it dry for 24 hours and then put the image on and painted. So there are guidelines with these. It's not all just down to being able to just draw freehand. Some of the classes are, not all, there's a minority of them. Some of them you are doing a little bit of freehand, but this does have a template with it and you will be able to download that and follow along. So it's a really nice little one to do. He's super cute, so I hope that he's inspiring you to have a go. Don't be put off because everything's step by step. So if you're thinking and looking at this going absolutely no way, I'm sure I can get you to paint it. We've got some really successful painters on this on my school, some really good ones. And that's come over the years, so just jump on board and have a go. Get your New Year's resolutions out. Always have a bit of a thing about New Year's resolutions. Kelly and I always have something to say about New Year's resolutions. But there it is. So that's the puppy cake. He's very sweet. And he's available from today, so that's nice. We've got a nice new one in time for Valentine's Day. The one that you've spotted, you naughty people, whoever that was up there, I will bring it down quickly, but this isn't actually on the schedule yet. I haven't actually scheduled this one at all yet, but I will show you anyway so you can have a little peek what's coming. Okay, so there we go. So we've got a guinea pig coming. Oh, we love guinea pigs. I love guinea pigs. I think they're great. Kelly's highly allergic to them though, so we don't have them. We did have them when she was little and now she's very allergic to them, so we definitely wouldn't have them. But we have got a little guinea pig cake class coming out later this year, so it's probably going to be more like April, May when he appears, but he is done and he's ready to go, which is really nice. So lots of people have got guinea pigs. I know lots of little kids have lots of guinea pigs. Again, this is a very basic outline that you can change the colours according to whatever guinea pig you've got. So there we go. It was Donna, of course it was. Of course it was. Why am I not surprised? Beady eye. So yeah, it's not there yet, Donna, but it's coming. It is coming about May time, April, May. It will be coming. I'm trying to paint ahead. You see, I tried to keep a grip on what I'm doing, but obviously then sometimes when I'm on lives, I put things up and don't realise they're behind me. But that's absolutely fine as long as you like it and you know what's coming. That's fine. But yeah, we've got a little guinea pig coming. He's very sweet, so he'll be coming out later in the year. We've also got the horse. We did show this last time I was on. So this is the horse cake that's coming out on the 2nd of March. That was actually next to the guinea pig, so I'm just putting the guinea pig back again now. Right, there we go. So the horse cake comes out on the 2nd of March. That is quite a big paint, but you can obviously shrink it down and do a smaller horse. You don't have to do it the size I've done it. I've actually done it quite big. I'm just going to measure it and tell you. Yeah, it's actually an 8-inch, sorry, the horse is actually 8 inches from top to bottom. I put it on, I think it's because I had quite a big cake when I did it, a 10 inch by 8 inch cake dummy. So that's what I put that on. It's quite big, but you can reduce these. You don't have to do them the same size. You just take the image that I give you and shrink it down a little bit, put it into Word or something, and then shrink it down, and then you can do something a little bit smaller. So 2nd of March for that one. Very nice. And then the Royal Icers, which is the Sugar Craft group. Now, where is this thing gone? There it is. This one is out 24th of March, although I think that might be February. I don't know. I need to check that one. I think it's February. I've written March. I think it's February. 24th of February for this one. So we've been doing royal icing. We've done a little bit of beginner's royal icing on the gold group last week. We did some piping and we talked about different basic principles of royal icing. So we've got a little bit more of another different one come out. We did have this one out just before Christmas, or literally just after Christmas, which was an anniversary cake. This one is a 2-tier royal ice cake, and each one has got some different techniques in it. This one is about making baskets, which is what we've got on the side of the cake, and then we've got lots of scroll work doing monograms, that kind of thing as well. This one was a different pattern around the outside edge, quite tricky to see on the camera because because it was quite narrow, because it was a fruit cake, it's a job to actually see the sides, but it's a very pretty pattern on that one as well. I am heavily into royalised cakes. I know I'm always going on about them, but they are just the nicest thing ever. And we have got beginners royal icing on the cake school, which will help you to be able then to do these types of cakes as well. And we've also got classes that show you how to ganache and stack, so hopefully you will be able to have a go at that as well. But they are really, really lovely cakes to do, and I know that in the past people have talked about am I going to do any more royal icing, and the answer to that is yes. There you go, there's 2 more projects for you. So I've given you now a couple of extra ones to do. So on the royal ice course itself, I think there's 3, so this is 5 now in total, different royal iced cakes. So there's plenty to get your teeth into if you love a bit of royal icing, which I most definitely do. I'm not afraid to hide that as well. I absolutely love it. It's very good. I absolutely love it. Keeps you occupied anyway. We also have a wedding cake coming out, which is gold leaf monogram wedding cake, that will be out again. I think that's next week. Now, if that is next week, that's already 3 courses for January. So this is more than I promise. I always promise at least 1, but they always get at least 2, if not 3. So you will be starting the month off in January with 3. So at £12.50 a month, I personally think we are one of the best value cake schools there is out there. We are very much into painting. So painting is the big pull for our cake school. We are the one-stop shop for learning how to paint on cakes. So if you want to learn cake painting, I can guarantee you I have got you a course that you can do. Royal icing as well is another big thing on my school because I love it. Cupcake bouquets as well, something else I really do. In fact, I love most of it. I'm just sitting in I love chocolate, and I love airbrushing, and I love all these different things. So hopefully you'll be as enthusiastic as I am about them all, and you will come and join us and take part in the cake school this year. It's a nice thing to do. The weather's horrible outside. For £12.50 a month you can get involved. So much to do, so much choice, and I'm not one of these teachers that sits on the sidelines and lets you get on with it. I keep an eye on you, all of you. So we have lots of Facebook Lives and other bits and pieces. When I go out to wedding fairs, I'm normally filming something for the Gold Group or going through other bits and pieces with them as well. So there's lots of extra content on there as well. Now the postman has just arrived, and I think on there is my cookie cutters. So there's a very high chance there's going to be a knock on my door any minute now. There you go, 2 seconds. Morning. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Well, you can't get better than that, can you? That's a relief. My new cookie cutters have just arrived. I've got the samples here, so we were okay for actually doing the live, but I was thinking, crikey, if they order any, I'm going to be stuffed. But no, they've arrived. You see, that is perfect timing. I couldn't have done that better, could I? I saw him pull up and I thought, yes, hopefully cookie cutters. That's what we want. So we've got those. We're all ready to go now, aren't we? Also as well, where's my snowdrop one gone? So it's cold, it's horrible outside, it's not very nice, but we know shortly, and it will be shortly, the snowdrops will appear. And we do have also on the cake school a really nice little snowdrop paint, which is part of Patchwork Cutters. So if I bring that round here, you'll see it. I normally bring it out every year because it's so nice, but these are Patchwork Cutters along here, mixed with another, now what did I use? Another one of the Patchwork Cutters here to get some extra long leaves in, but there you go. There's a nice little snowdrop paint if you want to have a go at that. And the earth I've just made with a sort of crushed up Oreo, really, to be honest, has made quite good earth. But that one is also on the school as well. So if you're sort of feeling a bit daunted by something like the puppy, which looks really confusing, but actually it isn't, and you like the idea of Patchwork Cutters, then Patchwork Cutters is a brilliant way of getting involved with doing some cake painting and building up your confidence until you're ready to take a plunge and have a go at doing something that you really like. So one more thing I've got to say about this school before I change over to Let's Shop. I'm just reading my list here. I have a list because I have no my memory is so bad these days. I have to write everything down, so I have a list here. I'm just reading my list as I go through it because the postman's put me off. We have another live on now it's Tuesday, I think it's the 31st, whatever, if that's right, Tuesday the 31st of January. Does that sound right? I think it is. And that's on my other page at Tracey Mann Cakes, and we will be doing Harry Potter. We're going to do Harry Potter does Valentine's Day or something along those lines, but the Harry Potter cookie cutters that I've been waving around for the last few weeks before Christmas. So we had Hogwarts, we had Hedwig, we had the Crest, we had the train, we've got Harry Potter, Hermione and Ron together. We're going to be doing Harry Potter on his own. So Harry Potter cake painting will be on the 31st. I think it's the 31st of January. It's a Tuesday evening at Tracey Mann Cakes, which is this page. So we have to go to that one. Oh, it's the 30th. Thank you. You have to go to this page to watch that one. Okay, so that will be appearing on there. I know there's always massive amounts of confusion every time I go live. Where am I? I will be on that page on that day, and I'll be going through some more of the Harry Potter cookie cutters there. So if you bought some over Christmas, you will be able to see what else I'm going to do with them, or likewise if you want to buy them, they are all on Let's Shop Cake Live this morning as well, so you'll be able to find them all on there. Harry Potter all year round as far as I'm concerned. I know it feels a little bit more Christmassy these days, but I mean, I saw somebody yesterday who'd put on one of these Facebook groups, I'm having a Harry Potter party and all that, and they had some cookie cut, and I said, oh, we've got the cookie cutters to go with it, because it's such a nice thing you can do. They're really big as well. I was really surprised actually how big they were. So you can make a nice Hedwig for your cake and all those kinds of bits and pieces as well. So lots of nice things you can get involved with if you know someone who's into Harry Potter. Fantastic. We've got all the cookie cutters here for it. So we'll be working our way through the year through the Harry Potter cookie cutters as well. Right. Okay, so that's the school. Let me move across to there. There we go, switch everything back over. I'm just going to answer that question that's come up on the screen. Have the winners been announced for the Delicious magazine? The answer to that is no. The answer to that question is they're having an awards ceremony. When is it? February, sometime in February, I think. Down in Leeds Castle. I won't be going, unfortunately, because I've got other commitments, but apparently it is going on down there. So there's nothing been announced at the moment. So that's the answer to that question. And whoever's written I love Harry Potter, so do I. I also love Harry Potter, it's very good. Right, so we're going to have a look at some bits this morning with cookie cutters. So we've got one new cookie cutter, but I've also taken some of the old ones and I've given them a bit of a Valentine's spin, and I've made a few little extra kits and bits and pieces up as well. So hopefully there will be something here this morning that resonates with you that you'll want to do. I'm looking around thinking I didn't get myself very organised before I went live because I forgot to get my royal icing mix ready, so I will do that in just a second. But we're going to work our way through some of those bits and pieces now. If you have any questions while we're going through them, then do please let me know. Some of these cookie cutters will be familiar to some of you that have been with me before or for a long time. Others will be new. There will be some new ones as well. So you'll see a few bits and pieces going on. You know what it's like? Well, you don't. But when I come back and do a live for the very first time, I'm looking around the room going, where's that gone? Where's that gone? So out the corner of my eye, I'm sort of scanning the room looking for various bits and pieces. So I'm just going to go and put some water in here. So that will be a good start. At least I've got that bit sorted. But I am looking around going, I wonder where that's gone. All these different things I need to be able to do these things. So Let's Shop Cake Live, which is the address that's up on the screen, is where you'll find all of the bits and pieces that I'll show you this morning. You can place your order on there. It's open all the time, so you can go on at any point, and it also links to the rest of my website, which is traceyscakes.co.uk. So if you then want to go wandering around the site and pick up other bits and pieces and put them all in the same basket, it will all go through to the same place. So there we go. So it's been a bit of a clear out. I've tried to get rid of Christmas for next year. I've now tried to switch it over to Valentine's Day and all these other things, but obviously there's always a hint of Christmas there somewhere. So let's get started. Let's see, what should we start with? Let's make life a little bit easy for us, shall we? We will start with these. I'm going to put those over there. Put those down there. Right. Bits and pieces. So we're going to start with some familiar cookies that you will know. What have I done with that one? There we go. Got it. Let's start with a little one, shall we? Let's start with something tiny. Let's put that back over there. I have all this stuff lined up on my trays to try and make it easier for myself, and it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. So we're going to start with this. So there we go. We'll all recognise this. This is our little gnome, and we're going to turn him into a Valentine's gnome, or gonk, or whatever it is you want to call it. There we go. We'll pop that down a little bit lower. So I'm going to do the mini one, and then if you've got the large ones, obviously this is the one that fits on the cupcakes. There is a larger version as well. So if you've got the larger one, you can make bigger gonks for Valentine's Day. If you've got the mini one, which is the one I'm going to do this morning, you can make mini ones. But I thought you would like to see how to do this because it's fun and it's something a little bit different. So there we go. So gonks are for life, not just for Christmas, apparently. I spotted them and I went, oh, look, they've done them for Valentine's Day. Guess what we're going to be doing? Yep, we'll do that too, no problem. So I've got a bit of red sugar paste here. The colour I've got here is the Rainbow Dust Red, or no, what's it called? Pro Gel Red. The one that's called Colour Splash Christmas Red is a little bit pink. So just be aware of that if you have got that one. Plastic side scraper, right, there we go. Oh, and I have got one to hand, that's good. Okay, so pop that on there, take our little cookie cutter and press it down, give it a wiggle, like so. We're going to flip it over, there we go, run our finger around the outside edge, get rid of those hairy edges, and we're just going to press down so we can pick up mainly, well actually most of the detail is at the bottom, so we'll just press down to make sure we picked it all up, turn it back over, there he is. Got our little gonk there ready to roll. So I've got a bit of royal icing in here which I've mixed with some water, so that's all I've got in this little pot here, and I'm just going to take that and just paint that over the top of my cookie which I made yesterday, and then we're going to lift that up and pop it on like so. So the big one and the small one will be done in exactly the same way. I've just done the little one because that's what I've made, and I thought, yeah, great, we'll do the mini one. I don't think I've ever done the mini one live, so we'll do this one. So next thing we need is a little bit of pale pink, a little bit of pink there, a little bit stronger pink actually, we'll do two. So we will take hold of another smaller brush actually, because this one is quite big. Be drowning him in royal icing otherwise. We'll just take a little blob of royal icing and we'll just pop that on there. You can use a bit of water actually, it doesn't really matter. Take a little bit of pale pink icing like so, and then we'll just pop that on. That can be his nose there, look, like so. Okay, like that. And then what we'll do, we're actually going to paint it first. I'm going to bring my colours in so you can see what I've got here. So this is my painting setup. Lots of you will be very familiar with this, but if you aren't, I'll run through it. So this is a chrome food warmer that you can buy on Amazon. They cost about £5, something like that. And then a metal paint palette on top here, which has got cocoa butter that is melting here. So cocoa butter is a solid product. It looks like little buttons, but when you go to paint with it, you need to melt it. So in order to be able to melt it, we need something hot, which is what this metal paint palette is doing. So it's basically melting it down so that you can keep it melted so you can paint with it. Some people use bowls of water. I tend to use one of these because my heat is then consistent and I don't have to worry about leaping about and changing things around. I can just leave it to tick. We also sell paintbrushes. They are all numbered, and these are what I use when I'm teaching my classes. So they've got numbers on them, so we'll say we're using paintbrush number 1, paintbrush number 2, all that kind of thing, which then helps me keep track of what you're doing. So if I turn this around, the colour I've got here this morning is called Iced Pink Sorbet. Now this is an edible art colour. It's a really lovely candy pink colour. I love this colour. And we're just going to mix some cocoa butter with it. Because it's a luster colour, you'll need slightly more powder than you will do cocoa butter, but you'll soon get used to it. So you'll just need to get it to a point where you can paint it and it's nice and easy to use. So we're going to paint some, literally just going to paint some freehand hearts onto our gnome. So I think we can all draw a heart. That's not too difficult, is it? So we've just got a little heart going on there. I'll just pull that tail down a little bit. So we're just going to paint. Now, if you haven't got painting, or you don't want to paint them, you can use little heart cutters and you could cut them out, or you could use something like heart sprinkles and you could stick those on instead. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. I'm just showing you the way I've chosen to do it. So just going to, heart's very easy. If you're not sure, just have a practice drawing one out first, see how you get on. I'm sure you'll be fine. So we're going to put little hearts on his hat, like so. There we go, that's a good start. And then I'm just going to clean my brush up and we're going to mix up some white. So we got white going round the other time. There we go. So just give them a bit of a clean. Like that, just clean my brush and wipe it on a piece of kitchen roll. That just cleans it all up. Make sure I've got no more pink in there. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of white and I'm just going to mix it up so I've got some white paint ready. And then I'm going to use one of my dotting tools. So my dotting tools are for nail art, but we use them for cake. So they've got little tiny balls at the bottom of them then. There we go, like that. And all we're going to do is just take hold of the white paint and we're just going to put a few little kind of spots on his hat. It works really well because these give you an exact dot. If you try and do this with a paintbrush, you do not get this beautiful round shape that you get if you do it with one of these. So that's why I use them. They've got two different ends as well, one small, one large, so you can flip it over, and if you want to do some slightly smaller ones, you can change it around and do some little tiny ones as well. It's quite nice to have a mixture of sizes. You do tend to have to keep reloading it every time, but if you haven't got a particularly big area to do, then it doesn't take very long to do. So there we go. Right, so we've done that bit. We're sort of working down the gnome here so that we don't end up catching any bits. I'm going to just take another brush here. So this is paintbrush number 1. No, it's not, it's 0, beg your pardon, it's 0. And I've just got a little bit of brown over here, a little bit of dark brown paint. I'm just going to paint some little shoes on the bottom of him across here, where they are. Okay, like so. Right, next thing we're going to do, we are using a piping bag and some more royal icing. I've got in here a Wilton 3, but you can also do this with PME 2. And we're just going to take our piping bag and we're going to pipe all the way down to the bottom of his beard, which is that outline there, right up to his nose. So we're basically covering the red. We don't want to see any of that red. And we're going to go all the way up to the top, like so. And then we're going to come back this way. There we go. Like so. He's looking very sweet. And then the next thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to give him a little heart to hold, I think, I decided. So I've got a little bit more pink here. You can always make it a little bit darker if you want to sort of vary the colour between that and his nose. So if you want to make that a little bit darker, you can. Just add in a bit more colour, but we'll stick with what I've got in a minute. So I'm just going to make a little ball there, see how big it is. Yeah, it needs to be a bit smaller, because this is a mini one. So I'm just going to make a little ball and I'm just going to pinch it so it goes into a whatever shape that is, a teardrop shape, I guess. And then hopefully, she says, hopefully, yes, magic. Take a hold of one of these Dresden tools and press down, and then you can make a little heart shape. Just manipulate it a little bit. Something like that. How big is it? Oh, he's come out a bit big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. It's got very big. We don't want that big. Of course, you can make a jumbo one if you want to, but I don't particularly want to. I'm going to just go for a small one. Then press down again. This is the thing with the little tiny cookie cutters. Everything is super small. Back to a teardrop shape. Little, that end. Go. And then put the point back in at the bottom. That's better. Right, so we're giving that to hold. We can stick that on while the royal icing is still wet, you see, so that's quite handy. And then we're just going to give him a couple of hands either side, so 2 little balls of red We'll roll those at the same time, and then you've got a good idea that you've got them the same colour. Let's move everything out of the way so we can see what's going on. I'd say my New Year's resolution is to be more tidy, but that definitely won't happen. That will last about a week. Okay, and then we'll grab a little bit of royal icing again, and we'll just, I don't want to put too much down, a little bit there, a little bit on there, a little bit there, a little bit on there, just so it's a bit sticky. So we'll take hold of that, and again, we'll just roll that into like a little teardrop shape. It's got lines in it, hold on. Right, that's better. Okay, so press down hard and then roll a bit less. There we go. We've got a little teardrop shape there, and I'm just flattening the end down there, and then we'll pop that on there. So it'll start there till he's holding his heart, and then we'll do the same on this side. So put that into a sort of like an elongated petal, isn't it really? Something like that. And then we'll pop that on there like so, and then he's holding his heart there like that. How about that? So there you go. So that's the little tiny gonk that we've done for Valentine's Day. Obviously you can do a much bigger version of him because we've got the big one as well as the little one. The big one is listed. It still looks like it's in Christmas mode, but I have listed the small one, and I've written the word mini next to it because this is for cupcakes. It's cupcake size. I don't want anyone to get too confused which one it is that they're doing. So obviously if you want to make the bigger one, you need the bigger gonk cookie cutter. If you want to make the mini one, you need the mini ones, and the mini one goes with the cupcakes. It is really sweet, isn't it? I've got two of them now, look. Two little gonks side by side. I think they look really lovely. I made them yesterday, and I just thought these are so sweet. They are just the loveliest thing ever. And they're not very difficult to make. You know, literally a bit of red sugar paste, a bit of piping, make a heart, and you know, that's it. It's very, very quick. So if you're someone who likes to have a go at making bits and pieces, I mean, you could have a whole row of these going around a cake if you wanted to. You don't have to have them on cookies. You can use them just as standard cookie cutters. I tend to put things on cookies. It makes it a little bit more easier for me to handle them during a live, but there's no reason why you couldn't put these on a cake. So I kind of feel quite inspired by this whole gonk Easter thing, or gonk Valentine's thing. I did think that there might be a cake coming out of it, but they are super cute. You can see how small they are against my hands, really. I'm trying to find something else to compare it with. So if you've got a little pot of Wonder Dust at home, they are the same height as one of those. So that's how small they are. They're really tiny little cookie cutters, but it's a very, very sweet little cookie cutter. And obviously you can do whatever you want. You could do a pink one if you want to and paint red hearts. You could reverse everything I've done. So you could do the whole thing in pink and paint red hearts, and do pink here and a red heart here. So there's lots of different things that you can do with these little cookie cutters. And I thought it would be really nice, because some of you do have these already, to put a little Valentine's twist on these. So if you've got them already, you're up and running. You just need to sort yourself out with a bit of red sugar paste and off you go. But for those of you that don't, then don't forget we've got large and small as well. You see, you all love them. I knew you would, because I looked at them and went, oh, aren't they lovely? And if I'm saying that, that usually means you will as well. But I think they are really, really sweet. So I'm glad you like them, because I do think they are really lovely. And I can imagine a whole box of these together in different colours. Whites. And then I'm going to have a look at the Easter one. When I get nearer towards Easter, I'm going to look at putting a little him holding a mini egg or something, because that's if I obviously once I've opened the packet, then we're in trouble, because then I'll probably eat them. So I've got to be a bit careful with those. But I think a little gonk there holding a mini egg would be quite sweet. Maybe we'll try that on the bigger one to see how we get on. But so there we go. So there's something there you can do with the gonk cookie cutters other than Christmas. As I say, you will see the one on Let's Shop that is shown as a Christmas one. That's the large one, and the other one is shown as the Valentine's one. That's the mini, which is the one I've got in my hand at the moment. So there we go, couple of little ideas there for you sort of straight away. I should have done it in reverse actually, just to see what it looks like. See, I'm tempted now to try it in reverse, but anyway, I won't, because I've got other things I need to do this morning. But if anyone tries them in different colours, don't forget to send me some pictures and stuff so I can have a little look and see what you've come up with. There's usually lots of ideas, especially Trish, who is super creative with my cookie cutters. She does them for her for a care home, and oh my goodness me, she does amazing things with them. So I'm looking forward to seeing if she does some some gnome ones for Valentine's and Easter, but anyway, so you get the ideas. But the Easter ones will come. I just got to pick my colours and work it out from there, but I'm very happy with those. I thought you might like to see those. You can see me already starting to sort of knead some sugar paste next to me, so I'm going to be showing you our teddy from last year, so I'm going to demonstrate that next. So in case you haven't seen this before, again, we do a large and a small version of this. I'm just trying to find my colour. So my teddy colour that I use is called Autumn Leaf. So Autumn Leaf is a sugar flare colour. It's a very, I always call it teddy colour because it is teddy colour as far as I'm concerned. Let me just get a little bit of it out. And it's the one I've used for years and years and years as teddy colour. I've used it for wafers as well. So if you're making teddy bears, wafers, that kind of thing, it's such a nice colour. I'm getting all covered in it this morning as usual, but there we go. That's fine, I don't mind particularly. So that is on the website as well. It's called Autumn Leaf, and you can see the colour coming through now. It's a really lovely colour for teddies. I mean, you can do teddies in any colour, but this is a particularly nice colour. So I'm just kneading that through. You can see it goes through fairly quickly. So it's not a gel, it's a paste. You don't need very much of it. If you put too much of it in there, you'll just end up with a much darker teddy. So you can just adjust the colours, but you need a cocktail stick and literally hardly any colour at all. There we go. Right. Let's move things out of the way. I'm just going to lift this up a tiny little bit purely because I was doing the gnomes and it was right on top of me. I wanted you to be able to see all the details. So we're going to move our gnomes out of the way. I'm going to pop them over there. And I'm going to bring in this. Some of you will recognise this from last year. So this is our Teddy cookie cutter. He started a roll last year, literally. We had... It's got cookie in it. We started with this one last year, and then we've spent the rest of the year doing teddies holding different things, but he was the original, so we have a large and a small version of him. He was the original one for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. This one is the larger one of the two. There is a mini version as well that goes on top of cupcakes. So because he's only had a 1 year outing so far, I'm going to remind you, for those of you that have them, show you for those that don't, how to use him, because he is a really nice cookie cutter to have. So we're going to start by rolling out some sugar paste, some of our Autumn Leaf sugar paste. Again, you can do the bears in whatever colour you like, so it's entirely up to you. I've got a nice big air bubble in the middle of that, much to my horror. There we go. I'm also covered in Autumn Leaf colour by the looks. Okay, get the icing sugar off. We're going to pop that on top of our plastic side scraper, pop that on like so, press down, give it a wiggle, just to make sure it cuts through. Take it and then flip it over. There we go. Once you've flipped it over, keep it in the cutter and then press down where all the detail is. So hold it still and work your way very carefully around the cookie cutter. Now, I did make a TikTok on this last year, and that TikTok still exists. So if you do want to have a look at the super speedy version of this, you can go onto TikTok at Tracey Mann Cakes and you'll find it on there. And that is also acting as quite a good reminder. I am filming everything as fast as I possibly can, but there's so many cookie cutters out that it's quite tricky for me to keep up with it all. But I do my best. I do try. I'm going to just tip that camera that way a little bit. There we go, because we were a little bit out of screen. We're going to take hold of some royal icing again, and we just pop that on top. And then you can do whatever you like with this. You can either make him a little bit more 3D in places, or you can leave him flat. But I'll run through what I'm going to do with him. So we'll pick him up and we'll pop him on just like that. There he is, like so. Pop him there for the minute. We can take the, actually I've just rolled that up, that's okay. We'll go through that again. We'll just take some of the paste, roll that out again. So what we'll do is nose in the middle. Just make sure it's got a bit of icing sugar on it so it's not sticking, and we'll pop the plastic scraper there, pop that on there. I'm just interested in that part there. So that's not going to cut out, everything else around it will. So I'm just going to take that out of the way and flip it over like so and press down. There we go. Like so. Flip it back, press it out. There it is. And then we will take hold of our cutting wheel. I'm amazed actually that everything I've looked for so far this morning has near enough been here. First live back is always a tricky one because you're never that organised. You've cleared up beyond cleared up, and then you've cleared up so much you can't find anything. But actually today I'm not doing too badly so far, she says. Touch wood. Don't want anything to go wrong yet. There we go. So that's his nose there. I'll just trim that down a little bit more with our cutting wheel. There we go. And then again we'll just take hold of a little bit of royal icing and we'll pop that in the middle there. You don't have to do this bit if you don't want to, but if you want to make his nose stand out a bit more, then you could put an extra bit of paste in there, like so. Now let's do the heart, which we can do. Let's do it in red because that's what we've got out at the moment. So we'll give that a little bit of a need to start with. Now we've made the heart quite big deliberately so that if you wanted to use patchwork cutters and you wanted to emboss on them, or you wanted to write on them, or all sorts of different things that you can do, we've given you plenty of space to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do on there. You could write Be My Valentine with an edible black pen, or any message you want, whatever you like, you can put on there using one of those pens. Or you can paint it on. You know me, I like to paint everything, so I paint it, but if you don't want to and you're much better with a black edible pen, then use that instead. Give it a wiggle, and then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to press that down. There we go. Round we go. Lots of icing sugar on the bottom here, that's all right. And then we'll flip it back again, press it out. There we go. So there's the heart bit that we need. So we're going to take hold of our cutting wheel again. We'll take his legs off. We don't want that. We'll take his hands off because we don't need those. Like so. And then we'll just cut around the top of his heart there. Around that side. I'll switch over to the smaller cutting wheel there. There we go. Get those bits out of the way. And then bring this back in again. Turn it round. Grab hold of your royal icing water, whatever it is you're going to be using. I've got quite runny royal icing next to me, so I'm tending to sort of go for that this morning, but normally I'd probably just use a little bit of water for this bit, but royal icing is what I've grabbed. That'll do. So I'll put that down. And take the hold of that, pop that over the top. There it is. Get rid of the icing sugar a bit. That's it. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we will take hold of, we'll bring our colours back in again. I actually need black. Where are we? What's that? That's not black. That's anything else other than black. Right, now I've got a little bit of black here, so I'll put that down. A bit of black dusting colour. Just line that up a bit. Okay, so while we are, because what we'll need to do is paint this and then let some bits of it dry. So that's what we need to do. So you can use the little, let me just bring these in, cookie eyes. I think some of you will be familiar with these because we've used them a lot in the past. So you can use those. So if you prefer just to put a little sort of black eye down like so, that's quite nice and easy. In fact, why don't we do that? That would be fun. Let's do that. Let's try and do something a bit different. So we'll grab a little bit of white because they don't fill it completely. If I put white down first, then if anything's showing, it will look like the back of his eye, won't it? So let's paint that white to start with. I think I painted these black last year, but let's change and do something else. So we'll put white down. And then immediately I'm going to then stick these in, but I'm going to put a little bit of royal icing on the back of them to hold them in position. And if you noticed, I'm turning these around to make sure I can actually sort of get in there and get them painted. So let me grab a dot of royal icing. So I'm just going to put a little dot there, a little dot there. There we go, that should hold them in place. You've got to put something in there to hold them, otherwise they'll fall out. Let's use that one. I'm going to push that down. So I'm going to embed it into the Actually, that eye is bigger than that one. Hold on, you can't have that. Oh, they have to be the same. That's better. Just keep an eye on them. Sometimes they can be a little bit different in size. That's better. And then you can always go back round with your white if you haven't quite got it. There we go. That's all right. That's nice and easy, isn't it? Always a little blob of white in his eye though, just to brighten it up. So a tiny little speck of white from the dotting tool works just the same as if you're doing it on sugar paste. It just brightens up the eye a little bit, like so. It goes, makes him look like he's awake. So you can use those little cookie eyes. They're listed, I think, as something like Halloween cookie eyes or ghost cookie eyes, but I've used them literally for absolutely everything. So it's pretty much covered anything with eyes. And then we'll grab hold of some of the black. So if you fancied painting it instead, you could do the paint route this way. Now I've got a 0 brush in here. I'm just gonna fill his nose in, which is easy enough to do because it's all marked out for me. So I'll just take that round like so. Back round that way. And then we'll take hold of our brush. And this is the moment, right? Make sure I've got clear. So I'll bring that down there, and then we'll give him a smile. And he's very happy. Look at these signs of the heart he's been given. A happy bear. Okay. Always happy and smiling. There we go. And then while we've got our, actually what we could do that would look nice, let's do that. You see what happens when I go on a live? I start changing my mind. I'm going to paint little hearts on here that match the gnome. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my ice pink sorbet. I've actually got a 0 brush on the go at the moment. 0 or 1 is fine. And I'm just going to paint some, this would be good practice actually, wouldn't it? Look, some little hearts. Hearts on hearts. Little tiny hearts on there. We're all going to coordinate today by the looks. And then we'll put another one over there. We'll just sort of slightly change the direction of it. So we'll tip it a little bit more to the left. And then another one down here. Could even have heart cheeks. If you want to give him some heart cheeks, you could do that. And then, what should we do? Another one over here. So they're quite quick to do. They're not very time consuming. And then another one maybe over here. So I've given you a nice big surface area to have a play with here, so you can put literally anything you want, can't you? Over there. Lovely. And then what we'll do is we'll take our dotting tool. This is where I'm just going to move this round a little bit because otherwise the camera's going to be blurring continuously. Yeah, it's still doing it right, so I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. There we go. That's better. Every time my hand gets near the camera, it's refocusing, so hopefully that might stop it a bit. That's better. I think the teddy has obviously been in the same shop as where the gnome got his hat from, if it's matching. That's the story behind that one anyway. For those of you that weren't here 5 minutes ago, you won't know what I'm talking about, but the gnome, I've just done a gnome and he's wearing the same hat pattern. So it's the one I've just done. So that would solve that. And then what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of the, oh, I know what we'll do actually before we get too carried away. Let's paint the inside of his ears pink. Let's do that as well. We'll give those a little bit of ice pink sorbet. And again, you can paint these brown, you can paint them black, you can paint them whatever colour you like. I'm just trying to coordinate with what's going on here really. And then we'll take hold of some of the autumn leaf colour again. We'll just give it a little roll. And then what we'll do is we will take hold of some blob of icing there, blob of icing there, bit of royal icing. Same as we just did with the gnome, so we'll make up, well, my hands are getting covered in every colour under the sun now. Right, let me wash my hands, otherwise we're not going to be able to finish this properly. All right. I think it's got to the point where I've got red on everything now, so let me just dry my hands off. And then we won't have everything covered in red. Right, I'm going to turn this heater off as well. So we take hold of 2 bits, roll them together so you can see if they're the same size. Roll them into like a teardrop shape. Flatten them down a little bit just so you've got like a paw. And then you can pop that on there so he looks like he's holding the heart. You could also take hold of the cutting wheel and you could put some little marks on his, so he's got paws. There we go. Got paws, Teddy. And then we'll roll that way. And we'll do the same there. We'll pop that on there. You can always pop them on like that and then press them down, because then you can kind of gauge these two together. And again, we'll just put little lines on there like so. He's holding his. Now you could, if you want to, do the feet. You don't really want them to come too far forward because it's going to be the hands that come round the front of the heart, and not really the feet. But if you want to make the feet a little bit bigger, obviously you can come in here and you can start adding bits and pieces there. But to be perfectly honest, I think just leave it as is, because otherwise it is taking the focus away from him holding the heart. If I get a little bit of white, I can now put a tiny little dot on his nose to make it a little bit brighter. I'm just going to make sure I've got all the white right up to the top there, which I have. Turn it round. There we go. Oh, I've missed a bit. It's only when you turn it round you realise what you've missed. That's better. There we go, Teddy. All right, so that's the Valentine's version of that bear to match the little gingerbread man. Where is it? Not the gingerbread man, the gnome. I've got gingerbread men on the brain. There we go. Let's put those two together. That was completely unplanned, of course. That's fine. I don't mind it's unplanned. But they're wearing matching outfits now. Look at this. So there we go. So the little gnome one is the one we've got already, and the teddy one is one that we've got already as well. But I've just put a little bit of a Valentine's twist on them just to remind you how to use them, but also get you into the zone for thinking about Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Easter Day, those kind of things. These are all very adaptable cookie cutters, so we can use them to do all the themes of the year, and that's what we're going to be doing this year. We're going to be theming these all through, so you'll see these appear a couple of times, so more than once anyway. So there we go. So that's the teddy. Okay, so remember he is available in large and mini. So mini means cupcake, large means cookie. So this is the large one, and there is a mini version as well, which is this size little tiny teddy here, and you just repeat the process and put them all together in a box. They look super cool actually. And don't forget as well, these teddies fit inside these boxes. So we went through these last year. So these are the single boxes. You could pop those in there as well, pop the lid on, and you got a little present that way as well. So these little boxes do fit the teddies. All right, although for that particular size. So let's take the lid off again. Actually, I'll leave you in there. You can stay in there for a bit. That'll save me. I won't have to damage you then, will I? It's more likely. Okay, so we've done that. And now we'll move on again. Let me just move bits and pieces out of the way here. So we're going to have a little mini clear up. So we're going to take, let's put it over there. Right, hold on. Let's grab this. Take him away, put him over there, bring that over there, and we'll just have a quick tidy up just so it's not looking completely horrendous in my bid to keep tidy for the year. There was no New Year's resolution to say I was going to be tidier, but I'm thinking about it. Right, okay, so at the end of last year we did Christmas stamps, Christmas letters. What else do we send on Valentine's Day? We send Valentine's cards, Valentine's letters. Now these were originally invented for Valentine's Day. This is where these came from last year. So this year I bought them back again and we did them for Christmas with stamps. So we have got some Valentine's stamps and I'm going to run through a couple of them with you and then I'm going to show you the ones that I've made so that you've got other ideas as well. So I've already made a load of them, but I'm just going to dem these two and then you can decide from there what it is you would like to do with them because they are very, very sweet. So I've got a couple of different options for you. Right, let me get myself organised. So you've got the option to buy these two on their own. You've got the option to buy these with a set of Valentine's stamps. So we did Christmas stamps, we've got Valentine's stamps, and you get half a sheet. So the Valentine's stamps, we've got love here in an envelope, we've got a potion, love potion bottle, and then the smaller versions of them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, large, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minis. So you get half a sheet, okay? So I'm going to run through the large one so you can see how that one's done. It's done very similar to the Christmas one. You can buy the stamps separately, you can buy the cookie cutters separately, and you can buy the cookie cutters, the stamps, and the edible pen. So we've got these double-ended sugar flare pens as a kit. So there's 3 different ways you can buy this. You can buy the pens separately as well. So if you go online and you get confused, it's stamps on their own, pens on their own, cutters on their own, or the whole thing together. All right, just so it's clear. So let's get started because I've got a couple of options with these which I think you'll like. So we're going to start with, once we've done this, we'll move on to the new cookie cutter I have got for you. Very exciting. Let's put that over there. So we've got white to start with. So white envelope colour. Obviously you can do whatever envelope colour you like really, but I've got white here. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to show you some decoration ideas for Valentine's Day. I have to think of some Easter versions, won't I? So we get maximum value out of these cookie cutters. I'm sure some of you that bought these at Christmas are thinking, oh yeah, I've got those cookie cutters, brilliant. So this is another idea for them. Let's roll that out. And if you do want a set of stamps, we have got Valentine's stamps available, so that's all good. Right, let's give this a big roll. I've picked the world's biggest bit of sugar paste somewhere along the line. Right, I'm just going to tip my camera this way a little bit. There we go. Right. So let's start with the largest one because that's a tricky one to cut out. On there. Pop that on. Press down. Now I'm not going to use the middle bit for this. I'm going to leave that out. I just want the shape. And then the other one, I'm going to use the middle bit, so you'll see both. It gives you an option for both then. Okay, so by that I mean there's no imprint on there at all. So it would just be like an oblong piece of sugar paste that fits onto there. Hopefully that will make sense. And then we take our royal icing and just paint that over the top. Like so. And then lift this off and put that down like so. Okay, so that's one. We'll leave that one there for the moment. And then this one we will do the same. We'll do white as well. Again, just roll it out. But this time we'll mark it, so we'll pick up the marks that are on the cookie cutter. That's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we'll grab that. Oh, I need to put the plastic scraper down first. Mustn't forget that. Press that down, press down, give it a wiggle. Like that, take that away, and then we're going to flip it upside down and then pick up the markings I hope I've done it all right because I sort of caught it as it went over. Oh no, it's fine. There we go. So we've got one with the hearts and one without. Again, we'll just paint that on there and pop that on. So again, these are mini cupcake size, and obviously these are Valentines in their own thing. Happy birthday envelopes. Yeah, why not? Might have to find some happy birthday stamps. I'll see if I can find some. Okay, so we're going to do one with stamps and one without. So let's start with this one here. So we're going to make something on this one. First thing we're going to do though is we are going to paint that middle bit. We're going to paint the little tiny heart in the centre. Actually, I'm looking at this. If my candle's gone out. I can tell a mile off when my candle's gone out because it's like glue. The cocoa butter starts to set and it turns to glue. And this, is it cooperating? Let's get this relit. There we go. I can tell exactly when it's gone out because it's not very nice to paint with. Right, so we'll pick some up over here. We'll grab some red. Might have to give this a minute to warm up because it's not very nice. So this is just red dusting colour. Not as red as it has been. There we go, it's probably because I had a bit of white in my brush then. And then all we're going to do is just paint the little heart that's in the centre there. Like so. We're going to need a bit more red in a minute anyway, so and hopefully the cocoa butter will warm up a bit. It's probably frozen out. It's not very warm in here. It's probably decided it's had enough. There we go. Little heart. Leave that like that. Put my brush over there because it's got red on it. I don't particularly want to get it covered in anything. I'm just going to mark these right down to the end. I'm just going to take my cutting wheel and just take these out to the end. And then I'm going to take hold of a little bit of sugar paste or modelling paste, whichever you've got, and I'm just going to roll a little, let's put that there, a little bit of a thin. Now you do need to make these fairly thin. If you don't make them thin enough, they can look a bit super chunky. So just make sure when you do this, you roll it nice and thin. So I'm going to roll a little bit of a thin sausage here. That's probably enough. Okay, and then I'm going to take hold of a bit of glue or royal icing. I'm going to pop a little line there. I'm going to pop a little line there. I'm going to guess, she says, hopefully that'll work. No, a bit too long. Cut it back a bit further. So I'm going to pop that on there, like so. And then I'm going to pop similar on the other side, like so. Maybe a tiny bit shorter. Take that out. There we go. Like that. And then I'm just going to take hold of a little bit of this paste here and I'm going to flatten it and turn it into a triangle. So I'm pressing it down, turning it into a flat triangle. I'm going to turn it round like so. Take hold of a Dresden tool and I'm just going to put a little dent in the middle of it like so. And then I'm actually going to manipulate it while it's in position because it's a little bit easier to do that. But I'm going to put that in there like so. And then I'm going to take hold of my cutting wheel and just use it just to kind of get the shape that I want there. So you can see I've kind of done an arrow through the heart there. So it's not blatantly obvious to see, but it will be because I'm going to paint it gold. So we're going to use Wonder Dust Bright Gold, my go-to gold. Let's turn that around. You'll be able to see this in all its glory in a minute. And then we'll take hold of this brush, which has still got ice pink sorbet all over it. Let's get rid of that. And we'll go for gold. So again, same thing as before. You're going to be using a bit more powder than you will do cocoa butter because it's a luster colour. And then we're just going to paint our little arrow across here, like so. And another one there. there as well. A bit more. There we go. You could just paint it on, but I think it looks a little bit better if it's more 3D, personally, than just doing a flat one. I'm also going to do some little, that's what I forgot to do, the little bits at the end of the arrow. Let's get 2 of those. A little bit of royal icing. There and there. Pop that one there. And that one there. And again, just adjust them with your cutting wheel. Sometimes there's no, if your fingers are too chunky, which everybody's fingers are when you're trying to do fine detail, just use a scriber or a tool. It's much easier to get closer to it than it is with your own fingers. There we go. Got a nice little arrow going through the heart there. So that's something else you could do for a cookie, and it doesn't take very long. It's very, very quick. As you can see, it's not taking very long to do that at all. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of white. Where's my lovely dotting tool? There it is. Put a dot on the heart, and then a little line as well, curved around the heart, and that looks like a little bit of light there as well. So there we go. So that's a little mini cookie that you can put on top of a cupcake. Again, very quick, not difficult to do. A tiny bit of painting, but actually something that's quite different and quite pretty. So we'll pop you there for the moment while we then move on to the bigger one. So the bigger one is for the letter, so the stamp. So here comes our stamps. So these are obviously printed on edible paper, so I need to cut my stamp out. So there's my first stamp. This one has got love written on it. And then I'm just going to cut closely to it. Now remember, you mustn't get any water on this because it will pull off the pattern. Take off the plastic backing, very important. Otherwise you'll be eating that. It won't taste very nice. So a pair of scissors just to cut round your little stamp. Just go down this side again. There you go. And then we'll take hold of, I'm going to do this with royal icing, but again, you can just do this with water if you want. It's just because I've got royal icing next to me. I'm just going to paint the back of my stamp. I'm not going to lick it. I'm going to put some royal icing on the back there. And then I'm just going to stick that into the top right-hand corner there, like so. Now, you can either do this with a pen. Now, if you want to do this with a pen, what I recommend you do is leave it to dry. So in other words, leave it to dry for at least 24 hours because otherwise when you do it with a pen, you've got to do it very, very lightly. Now, I can do it, it's not a problem, but if you have not done this before and you start using the same pressure as you would do if you're using a normal pen, you'll find that it will tear up the sugar paste. So you've either got to do it very, very lightly, which is completely possible, or you've got to do it or paint it or wait till it's dried. It's up to you, one or the other. Just seeing what I wrote on some of those other ones. Right, okay. So let's try and do it with a pen. If not, I shall switch over to the paintbrush, and so we'll do it that way. It is a little bit quicker with the pen because you're more familiar with it, I guess. So B. And don't breathe. You can always mark this out as well if you're sort of not particularly confident with your writing and you would prefer to mark it out, or you might prefer a script, you know, one that's a bit more sort of curly. In that case, you can do that. But I'm going to just stick to kind of quite basic writing. It's always when you go around the corner when you're doing this kind of work on sugar paste, you can feel it catching. So be very careful. It's things like E's and A's that you can feel it pulling on. And also be aware of what you're spelling, because it's very easy to spell things very slowly and then look at it and go, well, that's spelt wrong. How have I done that? Okay. like that. You see, that's not too bad, is it? And then you can take hold of the pen again, and you can put your postmark on it. So we can come across here and put your little postmark, so it's been delivered. Okay, and then I went ahead and I continued to decorate, because that's me to a T. I love to do a bit of decorating. So again, I took hold of some red paint, and I just painted some red hearts on here, which were nice and easy to do as well. Exactly what we've been doing. We did them on the gnome, we've done them on the teddy, so they're nice and straightforward to do. I need a bigger brush though, that brush is not big enough. What have I got there? That's better. I haven't got enough control over that one, I need a bigger one. So that was 0, so now I'm going up to paintbrush number 1. Much better. There we go. And then we can do some little ones as well. Again, you can stick on sprinkles if you prefer that kind of thing, if you just want to, or you could paint them pink. So you can do pink hearts. I'll do another one over here, maybe we'll do a bigger one over here. So even if you don't do this for Valentine's Day and somebody's made an interesting comment about it being happy birthday, you could write happy birthday on here. Actually, the stamps would be okay, wouldn't they? But I'm going to look for some birthday ones. I'll see if I can find some. And you could do that on there as well. So you can go mad with this. You can just put as many or as few hearts on here as you want to. It's entirely up to you, but you can just decorate them according to kind of whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm going to show you some of the other examples that I did so that you can have a good look at all the options. So we've got option those two there, which I've just done. That's the one I did yesterday, so that's the other version of it, and that's the one there with the slightly different stamp. So it's the same thing. Now I painted that, I wrote that with the pen, so either or, it doesn't really matter. That's the little one there. I did this is the tiny one with the mini stamps. So there are mini stamps that come with the big stamps, so if you want to do stamps on the little ones, you can. I found with this one I could write on it, but I couldn't get much decoration on it. I probably could if I used the pen, but I did actually paint this yesterday because I was in painting mode. But if you use the pen or you just write somebody's name or whatever it is on there, you probably will have enough room to do some other bits of painting. And then this one, what I did was I used some red sugar paste and I put it inside of this here. So basically I turned it upside down, excuse me, and then I rolled a ball, I pushed it in there until I got the heart shape, and then I took it out and I pressed it and I put it on top of that envelope there. So I've got a really big sort of 3D heart there. So that works quite well. And then again, I made a slightly bigger arrow there and just did a little hatched line going around the outside edge. Just catching my voice here. So I'm obviously, my voice has not had this amount of talking for a long time. So there's some different ones there. So there we go. So I've got a complete selection there of some different Valentine's letters that you can write. Let's move that over there for a second so you can just have a little look at them. So just a reminder, the cookie cutters are available on their own. So you can buy these completely on their own. Some of you may have bought them at Christmas. You can buy them with the stamps. So it's half a sheet of stamps that come with the Valentine's cutters, or you can get the stamps on their own. And then there is a kit as well that includes an edible pen. So an edible pen to do your writing. So that will be the cookie cutters, the pen and the stamps. That's the kit. All the stamps on their own, the pen on their own, or the cookie cutters on their own. So be very careful when you're selecting which bit it is that you want for this. Make sure you get the right bit. Okay. So there we go. Right, we're going to have a look at a new cookie cutter now. Time is slipping away. I didn't realise it was nearly 11:30. I've obviously been chattering away for ages and not even realised. So let's have a look at my new cookie cutter. So let's move these out of the way. Take that in there. I think you'll like this new one. It's really lovely. I'm going to give you two different ideas with this one. Let me go and pick it up. So this is my new one, and it is a love potion. It is a love potion, everyone. There we go. And it's in a mini and it's in a large, so they're in 2 different sizes. So one for cookie cutters and one for cookies, one for cupcakes. And I'm going to make both so you can see what they look like. And you'll see there's very much a pink and red theme going on here today, but these are new today. So we're going to take hold of some pink sugar paste. Oh, I've got some green appeared next to me for some reason. Right, let's mix that up there. Just going to tip that way a little bit to help me. Otherwise it feels like my arms are off the table. Right, let's give that a bit of a knead to get it going. So these come as cookie cutters on their own. They also come with a kit. So they come with stickers, and I'm going to show you the edible stickers in a minute and how it all works. So if you want to get the stickers, again, you can buy those separately or you can buy them with the kit. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to show you what they do. Now, you could use these for Valentine's Day. You could use them if you do Halloween, because it's a new potion bottle. So it's a completely different shape to anything I've done before. And you could also use them for potion bottles, Harry Potter. You could use them Alice in Wonderland, that kind of theme. So if you're doing anything like that, you will be able to use this particular cookie cutter. Right, so let's pop that on there. Take our large one and we'll press down, give it a wiggle, and we'll cut it away like so. We'll take it and we'll flip it upside down. We've actually only got a marking up the top there, so we just need to press that base down there and then flip it back again, and there we have it. Okay, so that's one. And then the little mini one, let's just do that again. I've managed to keep this going just about. Let's move that out of the way, take hold of that, press down. So the big one is 7 centimetres, the little one is 4. And this is the one that is suitable for cupcakes. So it's a little tiny one, just press that down there, press that out. There we go. Right, so we've got our 2 little bottles. I'm going to bring that over here. Now I'm going to show you what I've done with them. Obviously you can do whatever you want to do with them, but I'm going to show you the vision. I'm going to show you what I thought should be done with these, and I'm quite happy with what I've done, so I think they look quite good. So we're going to roll with that and check out what I did. So I did them completely differently. I did 2 different designs, so pop that on there, and we'll pop that on there. So we've got 2 side by side. Okay, let's start with the little one. Let's do you first. Now, I'm going to just take hold of a little piece of red sugar paste. Now, we're all getting very good at these now, so we've been making hearts all morning, so there's no reason why you can't now make another one. So we're just going to roll this into a little ball. Okay, and then we're going to press it down, and we're going to make a teardrop shape at the bottom there, turn it round, take hold of our Dresden tool, and just put a little dent in the top there, and then just take our fingers and just flatten it a little bit, point it again at the bottom. If you're just careful, you should easily be able to make a heart shape. And then we're going to take hold of some royal icing, pop that in the middle there, and we're just going to pop that heart in the middle of our bottle, like so. And then we're going to take our brush, we're going to grab hold of some, actually we will grab red first, and we're just going to paint a line across the bottom there, and we're going to paint a line just under there, like so. Clean the brush, and then I've got some brown here. I'm going to put a bit of white in it just so it's not too dark, and then we'll paint this bit here as like the stopper. Like so. Actually going to put a black line under there, I think. That's what I did on the original one. So I'll put a black line in there, just to break it up a little bit. Okay, and then of course we need to put, where's our dotting tool? Our lovely dotting tool has disappeared, there it is. And we'll get a little bit of white and we'll pop that on there. And then we'll take hold of a perfume bottle as well. It looks like a little mini perfume bottle. So if you do like makeup and that kind of type cake, you could use it for that. So there we go, that's the little tiny one. So that's the one that you can put on top of cupcakes. And again, you could switch it over red and pink, or pink and white. You could paint the heart with a nice pink sorbet. So if you wanted to change the colour of the pink and make that little bit more sparkly, we could again take hold of a brush. Let's see what we've got in this brush. Let's clean it out quickly. And if we wanted to take hold of some pink sorbet, which I will do, just so you can see it, you can just go straight over this colour here and change the colour that way, make it look a little bit more kind of luster. You can just paint around the heart, turn it around that way. It's very Barbie pink, this colour. It's like it's a real candy pink. So if you want it to look super candy pink, then ice pink sorbet works brilliantly for this. There we go. So I've got a matte one, there we go, it's the matte one I did earlier, and then you'll be able to see the difference between the two. So you've got one that's a little bit sparkly and one that's a little bit more sort of flat in colour, so depending what you want. I also painted the topper on that one black, so again you can see a little bit of difference there. So that's the mini. Now let's have a look at the large one. So this is the large Love Potion, I've called this. Right, let's make sure that's on there straight. So with this one we have got labels. So these are the labels for the Love Potion. We've got 4 Love Ones and 4 Drink Me. So again, they could very much be Alice in Wonderland, and it is a sheet. So it's that much there. That's the part that you get. I'm going to take our scissors. I'm just going to cut 2 out from each. Go. Now, before we get too carried away, what I am going to do, while I forget, because I need this to dry off a bit, is I'm going to paint this bit here red. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to take a larger brush, so this is paintbrush number 3. I'm going to add some white to this red, so it's not completely red, because I want to be able to do a bit of shading with it. So I've got some red on here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with about the bottle about that far down. I'm going to go straight across, but not completely to the outside edge. So I'm going to go across as far as there. I'm going to take hold of my brush. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom. So the reason I've used a larger brush is just to cover the surface area a bit quicker. And down there. I'm going to go a bit closer to the edge, but not too much. Let's turn that round. Again, just, it's easier sometimes to do it when it's facing away from you. There we go, and then we'll fill that in. And because this is first layer, it will dry a little bit sort of streaky colour, but that's fine, we'll let that do that. But the bigger brush will help you get a better finish. So if you've got a paintbrush 3, then use that instead. So there we go, there is our Love Potion. Right, so we've got that here. We're going to take the backing off, like so. We're going to cut this out while we're waiting for this to dry. So we've got a Drink Me label here, which again you can use if you're doing Alice in Wonderland themed at all. So I'm just going to cut that out. Like so. Everything fits with these cookie cutters. You know me, I love things to fit. These definitely fit. Now what I'm going to do with this while that's drying, I'm actually going to put a little bit of sugar paste behind that, just to help prop it up a little bit, because I don't want it to sort of, you know, fall about all over the place, because it's going to be very marginally sort of hanging off the edge of this cookie. You'll see what I mean towards the end. I'm going to just mix a bit more in there and you'll see. Right, okay, there we go. So, let's do royal icing again, because that's what I've got today. So a little bit of royal icing on the back. Again, be careful you don't upset the print on the other side. So make sure you've got it all covered. Press down in the middle there. Take hold of a cutting wheel and just go around it. So all you're doing is just backing this up a bit. It's the only one you need to do it to. It will make more sense in a minute. So we'll do that one there. Let's bring the Love Potion one back in. Now it's got a red backing around it. We don't need that. We're just going to cut around it. So we're just going to take our scissors and very carefully cut round the heart. Like so. Okay, and then this way. Quite a central bit of this cookie, so I'm trying not to rush it so I don't end up with it all being a bit funny. There we go. Right, that's that bit done. Right, leave that there for a second. Let's go back to this again. And then let's move that out of the way. Grab hold of my brush, which was the one I was using 2 seconds ago, which is now vanished. There it is. Right, back to the red. So what we'll do now is we'll make the red sort of more neat red, and we will darken it up a little bit in places. And we're going to leave the centre bit a bit lighter. Oh, I've got to turn that round. Now you can put in whatever colours you like, so maybe you prefer to put in a sort of pink Love Potion and do a white bottle, or you could do a red bottle and you can overpaint with the pink sorbet. There's all sorts of different things you can do. I'm just taking a dry brush and just blending that across a little bit, just so it's not two lines and you've got some shading then going on there. Okay, and then I'm going to get my brush again. I'm just going to put a line straight across the bottom here. I am using paintbrush 3, which is a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to do it while I've got the red on there. And then I'm going to paint up here, this part here. Can't say I would advise you paint this with a paintbrush 3 because it's a little bit tricky, but I'm doing it because I've got the red on there. I'm trying to do it efficiently, she says. And then we'll go back to the brown colour. So I'm just trying to get red out. I've got red in every brush here by the looks. Right, let's get that out. That could be the ice pink sorbet actually. A little bit of brown with some white. And then we'll just paint the stopper going across there. Again, we can go back and make it a little bit darker and just pull it in from another side here. So I've got so many different brushes on the go. I'm just going to grab this one, just pull that across like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take hold of our Love Potion, and we're going to just pop this on the back here. So you might want to have Love Potion coming out the top here. In that case, you could use some of the little white Perels. That would look okay. So we're going to put that on the bottle like so. Press that down. Be careful. Make sure you don't accidentally touch it. And then we've got our little Drink Me label, which again we'll take hold of our royal icing. Put that on the back there. And then we're going to put that just there. So it's going to sit. It's just going to hang very slightly off the cookie. Now I'm going to bend it a little bit just so it sort of sits a little bit better onto the cookie. I'm going to turn that round. And then I'm going to take some, what colour? No, it's paintbrush 2, that's fine. Get a little bit of black. I'm just going to make a tag that's going to connect this to the cookie. Otherwise it's going to look like it's floating in midair and we don't want that. So you're just going to paint a line, which I'm going to do with a different brush because that's too big. What's that one? 3. Oh, there's one. paintbrush 1 is what I want. And then we can just paint a line going along there. So it looks like it's then tied around the bottle. If you see what I mean, like that. Otherwise it does look a bit strange, sort of out on its own. So there we are. So that is the new Love Potion. The new Love Potion cookie cutter. There it is, which is out today, which again you can use on Harry Potter, you can use it on Valentine's Day, you can use it on Halloween, although I don't expect at Halloween it'll be a love potion, it's more like to be poison of some description. But again, we always have our poison labels, don't we, when we get to Halloween, so I'm sure we can come up with something horrible for that. But that is the new cookie cutter for today, so it is called Love Potion, and it is available in a kit. So the kit includes the cookie cutters and a set of the stickers, which is 8 in total, so 4 Love Potion and 4 Drink Me. And then, or you can buy the stickers separately, so if you want extra ones to make more of them, then obviously you can do that as well. So there it is, that is our new one for today. Now, if you are making bits and pieces for Valentine's, don't forget about the lovely pets as well. So we also have this beauty here, which is our cookie cutter with the little paw prints on it as well. So if you do want to make your pet an edible biscuit, I should say, or give it to someone who loves their cat or dog, then we do have this one as well. And this comes with the pet bowl. And again, you cut it out and then you paint the little paws. And you can do that on a nice little pink sort of heart cookie and pipe around the outside edge. That's very sweet as well. So if you are a pet lover and you would like to send some love that way, then there is this option as well. I just thought I'd point that out because I was looking through my cookie cutters this morning and went, oh yeah, what about this one? So there we go. So there's that one there as well. Right, where's my list? That's the most important bit. There we go. Whew. I'm definitely here. For those of you that haven't seen me yet, here I am. Haven't got a hat on my head either, so it's not that cold either. I've managed to get through it. I am covered in icing sugar, but that's just normal processes really, more than anything else. So this morning we started off by talking about the lovely cake school. So there we go. Let's go back to the cake school. And we have got our new cake today, our new lesson, which is called Puppy Love. There it is. I'm going to turn it around that way. Yeah, that way. It's always backwards for me. So that's a new class that's out today. If you want to join that one, you will need to go to the cake school to join it. So it's tracymanncakeschool.co.uk. It will be included in gold and silver membership. So if you are signed up for either of those 2 memberships, it will appear like magic in your login area later today. It won't be there at the moment, but it will be there later today. It's all ready to go. I've just got to press the button and you will have that class later today. Next week, we've got another class coming out, which is Gold Leaf and Monogram. It's a 3-tier wedding cake, which shows you how to mix a very specific Harry Potter green colour and use gold leaf, how to stack a cake, and also how to do a monogram on the front of this cake as well. So it's a transfer process and paint as well. So that's next week. Then we're shortly following by a 2-tier iced royal iced cake, which I did show you earlier. Let me find it quickly. There it is. That's a royal iced cake that comes out on the 24th of February, so not far behind the others. And then very quickly following that on the 2nd of March, we will be having the horse cake. Somebody spotted my guinea pig cake, which we did have a little look at, but it's not scheduled yet, so we can't talk about that one just yet, can we, Donna? But yes, there is a guinea pig one up there as well. You can just about see it next to the, there it is, next to the Cavapoo, but it's up there. It's not quite got there yet. See, I paint these things, put them behind me, and then forget I'm on a live, and then it all goes to pot, you see. This morning, I did mention as well that I've got a Harry Potter live coming up on the 30th of January, which will take place on at Tracey Mann Cakes. That is the next time I'm going to be live. If you're a gold member, I will be live prior to that live. So if you're on my gold group, you will get a Q&A at 6 o'clock, and then I'm live, I think, at 7 o'clock on Tracey Mann Cakes painting Harry Potter. So again, we've been working our way through these cookie cutters. I've done the crest, I've done Hogwarts, I've done Hogwarts Hedwig. Haven't done the train yet, that's on my list, but we are going to be doing Harry Potter. So if you want to tune into that, the event post will be put up. Don't forget to click going or interested. Okay, today we've done the little gnome. Where is he? We've done the gnome and the teddy. I'm going to put everything down here actually, so it's probably a little bit easier than me trying to hold everything up. Let's go back onto that screen for a second. So we've got those, and then we've also been making love letters as well. So we've had quite a busy morning actually, doing all these bits and pieces. There we go. I think we can just about see it all there, but I'll take a photograph of everything together so you'll be able to see it. So the Teddy cookie cutter, large and small, gnome cookie cutter, large and small, and then also the love potion, large and small, and the letters as well, also large and small. And then don't forget, love your pets. A little biscuit there as well that you can make using the heart with the little paw prints on there as well, so you can paint little paw prints on there. So we've had a very busy morning doing lots of Valentine's type themed stuff, but also looking ahead to Mother's Day and to Easter. Now I won't be live next week because it's my birthday and I won't be here, but I will schedule again when I will be live after that, and so you'll be seeing us coming up. Now Mother's Day, Easter Day, everything is done by the 29th I think of March. It's all very, very close on top of each other this year, so there will be a lot of information coming through very, very quickly. I won't be live every week. I can't be live every week because I'm trying to run a cake school as well and other businesses, so I won't be live every week. So don't forget, if you do see the event post come up, click going or interested, because then Facebook will remind you when I am live. So I will not be live next week, okay? We will start sending out an email order from Monday. The cookie cutters arrived at the start of the live, which was quite fun. Thank goodness for that. So if you do want to order the Love Potion cookie cutter or any of the other ones, they are all here, and we will be able to get them out to you as quickly as possible, as fast as the post will carry them, is what I'm going to say to that. Get them in time before Valentine's Day. There's no point in me leaving everything till the week before Valentine's because it won't get there. I will always make sure we try and do our lives in advance of the actual thing itself. I will try and do some little videos to go onto TikTok of the potion bottle, but as a general rule, please refer back to Let's Shop videos and you'll be able to see everything that's going on. I'm trying to put pictures up on YouTube now next to what I've done in a bid to help you find which video it is that I did, to help you find out what it is that I've made that week. So there we go. So I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you're not too cold wherever you are, and if you are cold, well, stay indoors and make some lovely things, because there's lots of nice bits and pieces that you can make. I've shown you lots of different things this morning, and hopefully will inspire you to have a go for this year. So if you have any questions about the cake school, or of course Let's Shop Cake Live, which is there on the screen now, do please get in contact with me. We'd love to have you as a member of the cake school. We've got lots of things going on all the time. Likewise, please do feel free to go ahead and purchase any of the pieces that I have shown you this morning. So have a lovely day, whatever it is that you may be doing, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.